Oneida County Sheriff Robert Maciol has confirmed 3 deaths in the town of Kirkland, including 2 children, from injuries caused by falling trees in Sunday's early morning storm. Maciol reported that a tree collapsed onto a residence on Hoyland Avenue that was occupied by a mother and her 2 children, collapsing the roof into the home. Emily Bisson, 6, and Kenni Bisson, also 6, were found after a search inside of the residence. Both were pronounced dead on the scene, the report said. A second call to 911 reported another tree had fallen onto a residence on Millstream Court in Kirkland occupied by a male and female, the sheriff's office reported. Shelly Johnson, 50, was located inside of the residence and also pronounced dead on scene, authorities said. Closing in on the 1-year anniversary of the EF2 tornado that ravaged the city of Rome and the surrounding area last July 16th. Another tornado warning sounded a few hours before dawn Sunday morning, waking many from a sound sleep. Holy tornado PTSD, my fellow Romans. Whitney Law posted to Facebook, "How's everyone holding up? There's a tree on my car and there's a power line trapping us in my apartment. On the phone with National Grid now. Stay safe, everyone." Marie Teresa Kowalczuk pondered if someone might have angered Mother Nature. 2 years in a row, we lost our roof and a couple of trees. She is not happy with us, Kowalczuk posted. Hope everyone is okay out there. Stuff can be replaced. New homes can be found. It sucks, but we will all pull through. Almost a year ago, our city faced the devastation of a tornado that left a lasting impact on so many of our families and neighborhoods, said Rome Mayor Jeffrey Lanigan. Today, as we woke up to the aftermath of yet another powerful storm, those memories are fresh again, and for some painfully so. But we will get through this storm, just as we have before, together. Memories of the shock of the Labor Day storm in 1998 were also recalled by many who were there. Multiple emergency calls went out around 4 a.m., including a fire reported in Floyd and collapsed buildings in Rome and Kirkland. The town of Kirkland declared a state of emergency, instructing all residents to stay home and call 911 in case of an emergency. Many municipalities were without power as the storm left the area around sunrise. There was flooding, and trees, limbs, and wires down throughout the area. Worthington Steel in Rome lost part of its roof in the high winds. If you see a firefighter today, give them a hug and caffeine if you have any, said Sylvan Beach-based firefighter and popular local musician Gary Johnson. In my 24 years of firefighting, I don't know if I've ever seen this many calls stemming from a single storm. Oneida County officials reported emergency response crews are actively assessing and responding to the damage. The storms caused significant damage in several areas. Their report said, with the towns of Kirkland, Lee, Westmoreland, and Trenton, and the hamlet of Clark Mills among the hardest hit. We are doing everything we can to respond quickly and safely to the damage left by these storms, said Oneida County Executive Anthony J. Picente Jr. Our emergency teams are on the ground clearing roadways, coordinating with utility crews and assessing the needs of affected communities. I urge everyone to stay alert, avoid downed power lines, and give our crews the space they need to do their work. Madison County Sheriff Todd had issued a travel advisory for the county from 8 a.m. until 6 a.m. Monday due to storm damage and ongoing and developing flooding. There are also downed trees and road crews, power authority crews, and first responders are out assessing the damage and responding to flooded areas and other emergencies, he said.
And we got debris.
This travel advisory does not restrict travel but urges motorists to limit driving due to hazardous conditions. Anyone on the roads should take extreme caution, the advisory said, giving themselves extra time to arrive at their destination. "We want to remind people to be cautious," Hood said. "If you do not have to go anywhere, then please avoid any unnecessary travel. If you do go out on the roads, make sure you give yourself plenty of time. Some roads are flooded. Remember to turn around, don't drown. Never try to drive through floodwaters. The waters can be deep and moving quickly." Shortly before 2 p.m., Oneida Mayor Rick Rossi warned area residents that the Oneida Creek is less than a foot away from cresting into the flat section of the city at the base of Prospect Street. According to the latest data from the USGS monitoring station, water levels are continuing to rise, Rossi said. "If you live in or around the flats, please be alert and prepare to evacuate if necessary," he stressed. At 1:20 p.m., National Grid was reporting 27,302 customers were without power in Oneida County, 4,251 in Herkimer County, and 7,219 in Madison County. National Grid was still assessing for restoration times. Anyone facing a power outage is asked not to call 911 about their power being out, as that number is for emergency calls. For National Grid updates or to report an outage, visit outagemap.ny.nationalgridus.com.
2 pine trees are down.
The New York State Thruway is experiencing lane closures due to flooding on both east and westbound lanes outside Canastota. The Thruway Authority says left lanes on both the eastbound and westbound sides of I-90 are blocked after exit 34, I-90, Canastota, Route 13. Video from mile marker 262 shows the center portion of the Thruway flooded, with crews working to remedy the situation.
Be a little cautious.
Madison County Sheriff Todd Hood issued a travel advisory for Madison County through noon Sunday. This is due to the storm damage from early this morning and the ongoing and developing flooding across the county. Flash flooding is still a concern in many areas as creek levels continue to rise. There are also downed trees on roads across the county. The sheriff says do not call 911 if you are without power unless it is an emergency. Instead, call your power company to report the outage. If you live in a flood zone, be prepared to leave your home if you need to. The village of Canastota has a significant portion of Main Street, as well as several side streets, closed this morning due to flooding, according to Village of Canastota Administrator Jeremy Ryan. The Canastota Creek, which runs north/south through the village, has overflowed and flooded residential properties along its banks. Multiple families have left their homes due to flooding. Destructive storms blew through the Washington, D.C. area on Thursday night, causing trees to crush cars and houses while cutting power to numerous neighborhoods. Thousands of people are waiting for their lights to turn back on after spending the night in the dark. More than 15,000 Dominion Energy customers, mostly in Fairfax County, were without power as of noon Friday. Arlington County and Alexandria were hit hard. Power outages were affecting more than 3,000 Pepco customers in Montgomery County, 455 in Prince George's County, and more than 870 in D.C. Crews are working around the clock to restore power, Pepco said. Several trees crashed down onto homes in an Arlington neighborhood. A resident told local media her backyard tree, estimated to be about 80 years old, split in two, falling largely on her 90-year-old neighbor's home. The tree crashed on an area of the home where the senior normally sits. Thankfully, she wasn't hurt. "My neighbors brought her over. They sat her down on their porch and had her relax and called her kids," she said. "The people here are nice. Everybody watches out for each other. My neighbor who lives on the other side of me is out of town and texted me to see we were okay and if we needed anything," she said. "It really says a lot because this is an urban area, but people know each other. We watch out for each other." At Washington Reagan National Airport, 61 miles per hour wind was recorded. At Dulles, 66 miles per hour was recorded. Several thunderstorm warnings were issued during the evening commute. No serious injuries were reported.
It's on 52nd Street.
Georgetown University said its Canal Road and Prospect Street entrances were blocked by downed trees. Reservoir Road can be used to enter the campus. Downed trees, wires, and debris continue to block several roads into Friday afternoon, WTOP reports. Mark shut down its Brunswick line Friday and reduced service on the Camden and Penn lines, according to a service alert. For Bethesda residents, the storm was a reminder that the area is huge. Beautiful trees can rapidly cause a lot of damage. Kevin Vigneault was driving his daughter and some of her friends home from a canceled swim practice when the situation on Mohican Road, not far from his home, got scary very quickly. Lightning hit a tree. Tree fell across the street, hit a couple other cars, took down some power lines, Vigneault said. His car was trapped by fallen trees, and he had to get the girls to safety. They ran into a nearby house where a construction crew was working. As we were in the house, the truck lit up on fire, Vigneault said. Maybe 10 minutes later, it was like, kind of fully engulfed in flames. A mile away, Bethesda resident Barbara Varangis saw huge trees with trunks the width of a car snap and topple over while she was watching the storm through a window. Usually there's a big thud and everything shakes, but all I heard was crunch when it hit the cars, Varangis said. 2 large trees toppled over the highway sidewall and onto the Dulles Toll Road near Idlewood Road, between I-66 and the Beltway on Thursday afternoon. One of the trees was tall enough to block both lanes of the toll road and fall onto at least 2 cars. No one was hurt. Video showed leafy debris scattered over the road. The trunk splintered after impact, falling into pieces as large as a person's arm. Bystanders stopped on the normally busy road and were seen getting out of their cars, working to clear the road and helping fellow drivers. We saw a tree's leaves on fire after a portion of the tree crashed onto power lines on Ingomar Street NW in D.C. A huge tree fell and was seen resting on a building near Connecticut Avenue and Jennifer Street in Northwest. Another tree landed on a house in Georgetown, appearing to damage a historic home. As the tree fell, it lifted dirt and a brick perimeter into the air. Dramatic moments were reported in Northeast DC as well. Firefighters and K-9 units responded to a building collapse at 19th and H Street. Officials say no one was trapped. Another car was crushed in Capitol Hill. I had my headphones in. I was making dinner. I saw the chairs on the porch moving, and I was like, oh, something's happening out there, Aisha Sufi said. Sufi was stunned when she looked out the window and saw a tree falling on her neighbor's home while she watched a YouTube video.
So we're out of here. Tree went right through my neighbor's house. Fortunately, this is his summer home. He wasn't there.